So we're doing basic recovery and what you can hook to and what you can't hook to. So you should at least have a attachment point on the front and the rear of your vehicle.
You're gonna have to speak up.
So you can grab some.
If you don't have D-rings on the rear built into your bumper, you can get a receiver hitch D-ring. Like $15 at Harbor Freight for 15,000 pounds.
Most receivers you can run the chain all the way through.
Yeah, or you can run depending on the like mine are good with.
And D-rings are like 20 for the big 3/4 inch, like I have, are like $23 right down here, big R's. And they're high quality. They're not Chinese made, they're American made.
When you get your D-rings, what you're looking for is the weight rating on it. How many tons? You don't just go grab a D-ring and get a smoking deal on it. Go for what? Yeah. Look at the working load limit on it. Right. You definitely want to make sure you got a weight rating on it. I remember I was at Diamond Lake, and the guy from California backed his truck into the slope on the boat. So then he has this guy in front of him, and he tries to pull out, and he's just spinning, you know. Just has this guy in front of him hooked from his boat trailer to his bumper with just a ratchet strap thing. And while they're doing it, his truck sinks, right? Because the bed's filling full of water. So then they get ready to pull, the guy in front starts pulls his bumper off, and he drives out. Plastic bumper. Yeah. This guy just backed clear off the ramp. He must have not slept through the night and been drinking all night or something for those fishes.
The bags themselves are good for storing water in too. You don't tear them open.
Yeah, he backed the trailer up still, like backed his truck off the ramp.
So here's a perfect example of shackles, guys.
Michael?
That's one I don't have.
Where's Mike?
And name brand. Okay, this is a Smittybilt 3/4 inch shackle. Working load limit 1 ton. Here's a Chinese one. Working load limit 4 3/4 tons.
So that's 9,500 pounds.
Yeah.
And this
Name
is like,
brand.
I mean, this is just like $15 at OCS.
So make sure you don't just grab one. Again, make sure you grab a good one. Look at the working load limit, not the brand.
Yeah, how much Mike's Jeep weighs?
Yeah, you figure what
6,000 pounds probably?
Those are shiny.
Chrome.
Yeah, depends how big. Well, working load limit's just,
Yeah, the working.
Yeah, but that's if you're picking it up full weight from this. I mean, if you're just pulling it across the dirt, it's only 5% of the weight of the vehicle. You know, as long as all your tires are rolling. But if you got it stuck in the mud, you know, up to the frame, you're going to be pulling it pretty hard. Well, and then like what 3/8 cable is what 3250? Is that what it is? 3/8? What? Oh, 3/8 cable I think is only 3,200 pounds is the working load limit on a 3/8 cable, and that's what most 9,000 pound winches come with. So, and if you got that and it's stuck really hard, you're going to want to put a snatch block on it. So if you drag your cable out, you hook the snatch block to a tree or whatever, and then you drag the cable back to your Jeep.
You just doubled it.
You just doubled your pulling power. So from 3,250, now you're at 6,500 pounds.
You also spread the load out. So you
Not that.
pull out the load on each end, double the load on the anchor.
If not with the way he said it. Because he came out 2 or 3 and back too.
Right.
So you're not.
Perfect example. You're not spreading double full capacity.
But if you go
Mike,
from
are yours loose? Are his D-rings
That
loose?
too.
yeah. Oh.
Tug of war tire.
Good.
the cable. Only if the cords are cut.
It's always a good idea to have a good set of leather gloves when you're handling the cable because there's lots of sharp.
That?
Either or.
Either or.
Now what if, so that's going to double your power there on your winch. But if we took this,
Yeah, then you hook it to somebody else's rig. You hook it to someone else's. Then it doubles your weight basically, your anchoring weight.
if I go right here, did we double our power? No. We redirected. So make sure, 160 I think is what they actually say is degrees. The cable has to be at the double.
160?
Yeah, somewhere around there. So if you're coming over here, you'd be fine. You're going to double your power. But over there, you're just going to redirect. You're not going to double it. Exactly.
Well then, like if he's stuck and you're pulling and it's just dragging your Jeep, then you can hook to somebody else's Jeep over there. And double your anchor weight. 2 anchors versus 1. So. Or a tree or whatever.
Try and be nice if you use a tree, use a strap. Don't
here's
wrap a chain around it. Just be nice.
Here's a short little baby strap.
I've got a
Redwood strap.
That's rolling over a semi, not a tree strap.
The thing is how many thousand pounds of suction can you create when you're stuck in a mud hole?
It's not like I'm a professional at this. First time I've seen him in the firm for like 5 minutes. The whole get was yeah. Not realizing we were. Oh, what are you doing? We're supposed to be going potty. Everyone says you stink. He said no. No, it's good. Jen wanted to see it. Right. There were a couple others too.
I got this one for Redwood. That's why I got the rig. If you're wrapped around the tree, then you're effectively cradling that down to get that 12,000 pounds.
What about hooking up?
Well, okay.
If they don't have.
Another quick one that I see a lot of people do, and a lot of people don't understand or don't read their instructions. Because you have an 8,000-pound winch, that 8,000 pounds is at the drum of that winch.
Yeah.
I don't tell you how many, just out here alone, how many winches I've seen get burnt up because, well, I'm only pulling the little Jeep out, sitting over here in one of these holes, and they're 20 feet away. You ain't gonna cut it. I've got, on my Bronco, I've got a 16,500-pound winch. On the top layer, I've got 11,500 pounds of pulling force. But if I can't get far off, I run out to it, snap block, and come back just to get more winch off of the line to get down into that deeper pulling power. So that, you know, you have a 9,500-pound winch, 12,000-pound winch, it's at the first layer of the drum, not the top layer of the drum. Some of these smaller winches, at that top layer of the drum, you're only pulling 4,000 or 5,000 pounds. And you're just going to smoke the winch. And it's not the winch is doing something wrong, it's all operator error. And always make sure you have at least 3 or 4 wraps on your drum. Don't pull your winch cable all the way out till it stops and start winching.
The little set screw is not going to hold that cable
Because
in there.
that cable, you're not going to be able to get back in on the side on the trail. It ain't going to happen.
That little 3/8 bolt's not strong enough?
No.
No.
I actually saw a guy at the dunes have gone to something that was somewhat welded on, and it popped loose and shot clear back and went through the passenger side. That's true.
Oh, damper.
Yeah.
There's something I don't have. Now, I was just going to point that out. I don't have a damper. But
Yeah, you do.
I got coats and blankets.
Throw anything
I'll
in.
throw anything on there for safety. I can wash a coat.
Don't stand
No.
by it.
And always make sure you hook up. Because if that hook breaks, it's going to throw it down to the ground. Don't lay the hook down in it because when that hook breaks, it's going to throw it up in the air. Basically, when you're pulling, all of that force is in this part of the hook. So when you're saying hook down, you want to go
100%.
I'm sure there's some out there.
The guy that I go with, he's killed probably about 13 bears out there.
See, that's like I have solar is actually good. So I haven't been into this.
Looking for a
I
bear.
have a wireless
Well, and in my case, I've got a small block in my Jeep, and I'm winching. I'm going to motor with the battery charge. I don't want to get hot, but then somebody's towing me home. I lift my hood.
winch angle. So basically, if we're going to use that Jeep, and there's something over here, and you're on a trail and you can't angle, yeah, there's rollers on the side of that, and it's going to work
For a little bit.
for a little bit until the cable builds up and cracks that winch housing in half.
And it will do it
It will do it.
without thinking about
I've done it.
Voice of experience.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
It'll, when it doesn't even slow the winch.
no, it does not. It does not. It just happened to be a big deal.
Synthetic cable.
What's that?
Synthetic
Well,
cable.
From what I've seen and what I've read for the cost of it, my personal, especially with having such a large winch, I would stick with cable because there are going to be times you're going to have to run it over rock. You're gonna, I mean, they give you the abrasion sleeves and all that kind of stuff. My personal preference, I'll always go with cable. And because, you know, when you cut that, you get enough abrasions in that, at what point do you lose your strength? How much strength do you lose?
How many poles?
You know, yeah, exactly. Then they talk about, they read the fine print, and they start talking about ultraviolet rays that go and get wet and dry. How many cycles before it's basically dry rotting? You just spent $500 on.
Yeah, the trailer snaps because it's got dry rot.
Well, yeah, it was on my Jeep, on my winch when I bought my Jeep, and it will not go back on there if
So,
something happens.
just from my personal experience, I would stick with cable. Because, I mean, there are going to be times that you're going to be in that spot where it's going to have to run along the ground. You're going to have to drag it along a rock. That cable is going to last you a lot longer.
At least the cable, you can tell when it's going bad.
Yeah, so just personal preference. And then even with mine, what I do, especially during the winter, is actually before the winter, because I get really busy in the winter, is I'll take it, I'll pull it out, walk down it, spray it with, they actually have winch lube. I usually use WD-40, and then as I roll it up, I just spray it, keep it lubed. And it keeps a lot of the twist and everything out of it. You got to take care of your equipment, or it's not going to take care of you.
If you, like Mike's Jeep's a perfect example right there. If he pulled his cable out, and say Chris was right there, and he was just buried, you would have a heck of a time ever getting your winch line out farther than that with how loose that spool. So when you wind that winch up, make sure that it is tight spooled on there. Otherwise,
Don't just sit there with your hand and kind of just feed it in. Hook it to a Jeep or
hook it to
something.
because one layer is going to get underneath another layer, and you're not going to pull it out by hand.
What I usually do, once I finish pulling somebody out, I tell them, just keep your foot on the brake. Let me pull you to me. Keep that tension on it. And then you got it nice and straight and spooled and tight, so you don't have to worry about it digging itself down in there and hoping you can find a tree or something to pull up to, free spool, and back up just to get your winch line out.
And if you're the one stuck in the mud and somebody else doesn't have a winch, you're kind of screwed.
Yep, because you're not going to get it out.
Or if there's a big mud pit you want to try, make sure the guy with the winch goes in first.
Back up and put quite a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
Just to get it out. Had I been wheeling, I'd have been different.
And that's another thing. Not that, but I see a lot of people using the winch line as a tow strap. And I've even seen them actually, put a little slack in the line and back up. Well, those gears are only rated, say you got a 10,000 pound winch, it's not going to break till probably about 15 or 17,000 pounds. But you take that 6,000 pound Jeep and get it going 2 or 3 miles an hour,
bump up against those teeth, you way exceeded what it was designed for. You don't want to use it, for that kind of pulling. It's used for winching, use it to winch. Once you get somebody out, you want to roll back to get them away from, a precarious situation. Roll back, but you don't want to use it for a snap-on.
Even on a chain, don't hook it to somebody and put slack in it and bang on it. It'll only work until that chain snaps and kills somebody. It might work the first couple times, but it will eventually break and kill somebody. So find somebody with a snatch block, find somebody with a winch. If you're going to use a chain, snug it up and then see if you can pull them out.
And I mean, I don't know most of you guys, but these guys know me, and I've come out here and I've gone out to 1,000,001 other places and helped friends of friends. Possible. Don't do something stupid. It's just so not worth it.
If I'm not working and you're stuck, I'll come help you. There'll probably be a picture of it somewhere. Yeah, but I will come help you.
Oh, it will end up on the page.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to call any of the three of us, I think. And
if you get stuck in a puddle, you're hooking up your own chain.
Yep.
I did it
That's
one
the rule.
time.
It was a beautiful picture of you, Randy.
I was in high heels.
It was sexy.
I was in high heels, and I had to freaking Mission Impossible it from Mike's passenger seat onto the rock rail, onto the fender, onto the bumper, lean out and hook up to a Jeep stuck out in like a 2-foot puddle. I will
High
only
heels
use
and
that
mud, that's kind of kinky.
You should have seen me. I was
How come
out
that
there
didn't go on?
leaning.
It did.
Oh, it was on
there.
the page. Not the Jeep porn side.
Yeah, not the Jeep porn side.
So I guess the only other thing I
I thought
have
for sure I was
That's the after hours SOJK.
You don't have.
is where to hook to and what not to hook to.
Yeah,
Yes, if it's already bent, it's fair game. You might straighten it out.
right.
He's done that on purpose. Straightened out a couple times.
Go use something that's stock.
Do something.
That way there's no recovery
Once
point.
it's up on the hill, we can look into it easy.
Well, somebody
That way
already
you're
hooked
getting-
up to that to winch it up there, I'm sure.
Get it.
Didn't even hear it.
John said he's going to use your Jeep for recovery points because you don't have a whole lot of like rings or anything.
I don't.
And they were saying, well, yeah, the winch to get it up there. You can go kick it.
I'm surprised you didn't just chime in with you pushed me up there.
Because if